Hi, I'm Abby. I've got my LS14 out because today I want to show you how to use this machine when you're working with stretch fabric. I've got some stretch fabrics here. I'm going to show you how to get the best from this machine to give you great results like this toy. Let's put that out of the way. Whether to use a walking foot and which stitch is which. Okay, so one of the common questions I'm asked is, why does my stretch fabric roll? As you can see, I've cut this fabric and this is the stretch direction. So the fabric's stretching along there, not so much on there. There might be a little bit of a give, but not really a stretch. If I pull on this fabric here, watch what happens. Can you see it rolls? If you pull your fabric, you'll find that it will roll naturally like that because you're stretching the knit back on itself. So I want you to relax the fabric. When you relax the fabric, you can let it fall into its natural state. When we place it into the machine, we don't want to use the straight stitches. Now, the stitches 6 to 10 and even 11 are all straight stitches. Let me show you what happens. So remember, we've got the stretch going along this way. I'm just going to fold it over, give myself a small hem. And can you see, when you sew, just make sure it sits nice and relaxed. I'm not pulling at the fabric. Let's get this hook to the top. We don't want to force this fabric through, so press foot up. And let's cut that thread away. And let's cut that thread away. When I pull it on a stretch, did you hear that? But I've lost half the stitches there. Can you see that? I've got a huge gap there. And that's what happens. So I'm going to demonstrate the effect of a zigzag with a piece of paper. So imagine this is thread, and I'm going to create a zigzag with my piece of paper. There's the zigzag stitch. Can you see that? So there's my zigzag stitch. When I stretch my fabric, can you see what happens? Now this is quite exaggerated. It won't be as much, but you can see that there's my zigzag stitch and I've pulled it and it will stretch to some of the stretch fabric. So when we're choosing our zigzag stitch, we have the number 5. Now they're quite narrow. That's our satin stitch for applique. We can go for 4, 3 and 2. They're the stitches we want. Another stretch stitch available on this machine is number 13. And if you look closely, it's also known as a tricot because it has 3 stitches with each line of the zigzag. So it gives more thread. I think on this machine, I would find that the 4, 3 and 2 are the better stitches. I prefer number 2 because it's narrower and it's more like a straight stitch. But quite often I will ask the children to stick with 3 because it's easier to unpick. We have to think about these things when we sew. Let's pull that up. So hook to the top, press foot up. Let's pull that out. Now that was quite slanted. But when I pull, there's no popping. There are no stitches breaking there. So it's quite a narrow stitch and you can see that it's almost close to a straight line. Let's try 3. Now 3 is easier to see, to unpick. It's also faster and therefore more satisfying if you're a beginner sewer or a child sewer. So there's my 2, there's my 3. Let's pull on the 3. Now you can't see this, but I felt I lost some of my thread there. So can you see the bobbin thread is a bit shorter? It pulled some of my bobbin thread at the back. So you can loosen the thread, the tension a little bit, but if you loosen the tension, what happens then is you can see the stitches. Now I've chosen quite a garish contrast. I've chosen bright orange to go against this black and white fabric. So you can see the orange contrast there. On the two, you can't. Well, you can a little bit, but not so much. So obviously you will be choosing a colour that matches. Let's try 4. Press the foot down. And hook to the top. Always remember that hook to the top, because if you do that, you can pull out your threads quite easily. There we go, 4. And again, let's see where that thread is. So that those threads are about the same length, but when I pull, my thread, it has pulled it a little bit. So they're the same length, but they pulled it a little bit. But it's allowed that stretch. It's allowed the zigzag to stretch a little bit in my fabric. So that's why you would need a zigzag stitch. So it allows movement of that thread to match the movement of your stretch fabric. Choose a colour that matches and choose the stitch that you prefer. I think when you're sewing following a pattern, you have to follow a seam allowance of say 5/8 or 1.5 centimetres. You will find that you might prefer to use 2. If you're not so confident with stitches, stick to 3 for a while, so it's easier for you to unpick the stitches. Let's try 13. Let's go that way. Make sure we're in. Let's go for a really stretchy fabric here. So this has got stretch one way, not the other. So fold it over. Let's see what happens here. Now I'm going to give you a tip here now. On this machine, you'll find, if I take this foot off, that the hole underneath there is an oval. Can we zoom in a little bit? I don't think we can. So the hole there that you've got under your needle is an oval. That oval, when you pop your fabric there, right underneath the needle, that needle will pound that fabric into that hole and the stitches with it. And when you're sewing and you're not sure what's going on, you're pounding new thread into that fabric that's not shifting. And the more you do it, the more you find that that thread gets caught. Now, don't carry on with that. Stop, because if you start pulling at that machine, you can pull out the cogs and mess up the time. What I want you to do, and this is a great piece of advice for all of you with this machine, ever wanting to sew with knit or stretch fabric, and I have left the foot off on purpose, is I want you to start further away. So leave a gap of fabric behind the foot there and then sew, because it's less likely for that piece of end of fabric to get pounded into that hole. Let's put the foot back on. There we go. And then let's start sewing. So you see some of it's curled up there where I've been stretching and playing just to check whether this is a stretch fabric. So you can see there I've started beyond, tilt you in. So I've started beyond the hole and I'm going to sew. So I'm on 13. Don't pull your fabric, don't stretch, just let it go naturally. Pop your back there for a moment. Lift that up. And let's see. So this is called a tricot stitch. Again, it's another one that's difficult to unpick because you have the little stitches between each stitch. But when I pull on this very stretchy fabric, let me just show you where we haven't stitched, how stretchy it is. Let's see what happens here. So it gives us that full stretch, and it's not pulled on my threads there. So that's a really good stitch. It's a difficult one to unpick, so make sure you get it right. Not too difficult. If you're a beginner, you might struggle, but if you're an advanced sewer, you might be okay with it. Just don't make any mistakes. Let's try the 3. Let's lay this fabric out. It does roll, but don't stretch your fabric. Okay, let's just let it fall naturally. Don't stretch. And we're going back to number 3. I've not locked the stitches. Let's cut that away and let's compare notes. So that's the tricot, that's our stitch number 13, and that gives me a full stretch. I can feel the full fabric stretch in there. That's number 3. I think that's quite narrow enough. And again, I get a full stretch. Just stitch this really stretchy one. I love this fabric. It makes great dancewear. And let's go on to 2. If I just show you there what's happened to the fabric. It sort of wavered the fabric. When it does, when your fabric becomes puckered like that, let's reduce the tension a little bit. It's been pulled too tight. If I reduce that tension, let's see what happens now. So I've just turned it down by 1 digit. And there we go, a lot better, isn't it? So reducing the tension will give you a much better... When you're using fabrics like this, use a ballpoint needle. When you're using, fabrics like this, so where we've got a knit, so it looks a bit like a woolly jumper. So when we've got those thick knits, but when we've got the really 4-way stretch, now this isn't 4-way stretch, but when we've got that 4-way stretch lycra, you want to be using stretch, because the stretch needles are pointier and they won't shred the fibres. Always use ballpoint needles. Don't think you shouldn't use ballpoint needles. When you wash your fabric again and again a few times, you will find that your stitches start shredding. You'll find shred marks where your needles have been. So take care and use ballpoint needles. The other thing is, make sure, now I know Esme on Sewing Bee says knit ravels and you should overlock. She's right. Again, there's a lot of controversy around knit doesn't fray. Well, it does. It actually does. You might not see it on the first 2 or 3 wears, but you will see it. And it is important to make sure you finish your edges off neatly. If you want to tuck them in like that, or otherwise just use a tricot stitch and then just catch the edge of your fabric. Let me show you there. And I've just caught the edge of the fabric, and that will help preserve the life of my garment. Another thing is walking feet. This machine wasn't designed to have a walking foot. Brother don't actually provide a walking foot for this shape. You might find that buying a generic walking foot might fit, but you could potentially cause damage to the machine. But take care and make sure your needle isn't going to hit the foot. So, do we use a walking foot on the LS14? I'm going to leave that one with a question mark. And I wish you good luck. Have fun.